root therapy, medication, all this. Well, that's what he's saying. Won't these things help you? Won't these help you? We don't look in here and go say, it helps you to an extent, but it's not really what's going to really help you. Because, I'm really going to take myself ahead for a second. No, not yet. And then he goes in and says, some do. God can work through those remedies to help people. Now, God can help you with medication. However, we're going to find out, as I stated, that's not going to be the real cure for our problem. Because a lot of people think that these type of things can really help us with our emotions and all that stuff. Y'all help me out. Some of these kids are real active. They put them on, what they put them on, y'all? Ritalin. And Ritalin is to calm the little boy, little girl down. But what they tell me, I don't know, they just tell me. They said when the little kid takes this Ritalin, they're in a zone. They just let it. And so you got a little kid who's in the classroom, he's on Ritalin, or she, and they're really not learning because they're in a zombie state. So you take this to try to calm the child down when really you need to bring him to the altar and pray for that child. Oh, okay. Can I go back old school for a minute? Because when we were growing up, we grew up when I grew up in the church, we were real active in church. Young mothers would get on us, we holly across the aisle and say to each other, all those things, but our parents would tell, hey, y'all stop that. They didn't put us on a Ritalin. Praise God, they didn't. They just prayed for us, and prayed us through. And as we got older, we calmed down. We got better. We did better. It's in this dispensation, we want to put people on medication to try to solve the problem. But all we need, and back in the years ago, it was all about Jesus and Him who made us better, who calmed us down, and all those things. It wasn't medication. The other thing is our parents couldn't afford the medication anyway. And that's the problem, Sister Diane. We don't whoop our kids no more. We put them time out. Baby, sit in the corner for 10 minutes. And you think about the problem. Think what you've done. You get out of the corner, and after 10 minutes or 15 minutes up, guess what? The child is doing it again. But when we got a whooping, it was a great reminder. Because if you do this again, you know what's going to happen. Then you won't suffer the consequences. Yeah, and y'all who came when I came. Even when our parents got on, it wasn't our parents. First of all, it was some of the mothers in the church who got on us. And then they told our parents, Ray was doing such and such. So when I got home, I got another whooping. It wasn't a medication. It was discipline that caused us to do better. Exactly. And so we got this age now, we put them in time out and expecting them to do better. And we got people now, you know what, our parents have been in jail. Oh Lord, yes. They would have been in jail. Cause some of the women we got, I'll just say me.
They didn't care at all. Because if you get mad, they would have made you.
Oh, they care. They want you to do better. They care.
They still want you, though.
Yeah, but they care. They want you to do better.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I told you before, I'm trying to embarrass you to tell that story. Remember about that? Good. I'll say it real quick. I remember, my mother remember, on 716 McGoffin Street, There were some guys on the other side of the fence, there was a walnut tree. And my father already told us, said, Ray, you, Ronald, Randall, don't y'all be throwing at them boys over there. Lo and behold, once Daddy went in there, because we know Daddy would go sleep real quick, we thought. So we were throwing them walnuts at these guys, and I'm farming, and I got caught. All I remember, had on some blue jean shorts. I'll never get it. I got caught. Ronald didn't get caught. Randall didn't get caught. And some of the other friends that went out yard throwing didn't get caught. I got caught. And back in the day, they were getting big long switches. And they weren't, now I'm talking about these little puny things. These were fixed switches. And I tried to run, and my father would just catch me, wow! And when it was over with, I had all my legs were welts. And I had to stay in the house for about 3 hours. He said, you go get in the house. You come outside until I tell you to come outside. So what, 3 hours later, I came outside. My friend said, your daddy almost killed you. I'll tell you something. I did not want to throw another walnut. 2 things happened to me. He whipped me real bad, and then embarrassment from my friends. Because they didn't care. They'll whoop you in front of your friends. And help you to do better. And then I didn't, but now I do now. I appreciated those disciplines. Those disciplines. Appreciate it. Made me do better.
I understood the whooping, but I never understood time. Have somebody get in the corner.
I still don't.
Yeah, make them stay. They move, get back in the corner. I don't know.
No. And then you got these activists, let me say it, these activists, who saying it is, and you got, there's a fine line now. There's a fine line now. There's a fine line, because if we do what our parents did, we're going to be going to court for child abuse. And so we as parents, we walk this fine line. And all those things. So it's really crazy, to be honest with you. It's crazy. Because they said that now there's child abuse, and we will have you go to court, send you to jail, because I seen you whoop your child. Well, I'm gonna keep my child in line so he don't go to jail and don't wind up in prison. Because those whoopings kept us out of jail. Kept us out of prison. They kept, because, and this is what I didn't understand. Please forgive me, Mom. I didn't, and I still don't understand this. I don't know if I ever did it or not. But I remember my parents would whoop us and say, it hurts me to want to hurt you.
But they do hurt us. Yeah, you whoop them and you don't really want to, and it hurts you. So
Yeah, but this is the type of thing.
but it hurts. I don't know if it's too much different there.
Trust me, I've been there. That's a different type of thing.
I did that too. I did stitching on, I did that. But it hurts. It hurts. Especially when
You don't want to do it, but you don't feel the same way you impose it on them.
Another thing,
Yes, sir.
they always say, I do it because I love you, and I don't want to see you.
I can understand that. Now I couldn't be. Be honest with you, I couldn't be. I can understand it now.
Right.
Because they had such a love for us, they wouldn't correct us so we don't keep doing the same old stuff. And would cause problems down the road. Yeah. I can understand that part.
Another thing, you didn't have as many young people locked up in jail or responsible as you did,
That's correct.
as you do now.
That's correct.
They are locked up hundreds and hundreds of them now because of tickets and everything, because you cannot spank them or go through.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
The timeout is not something new. Timeout goes back 50-some years ago.
Really?
And the
I'm
reason why I
learning
said that is because when I was around in the 4th grade and you didn't act right, they would have you stand in the corner, and sometimes they have you stand in the corner on 1 foot. So it's coming back. I mean, it seems like it's new, but when I used to go to Douglas School, they would put you in the corner. Sometimes you would be in the closet, and the closet then was open-faced. And you hung your clothes in there, but so sometimes you'd be in the closet. As it would say time out, and then if the teacher saw fit at the certain times, they would let you come out. Or if you were in the corner, they would tell you to come out the corner. So this is just a reflection, not a reflection, just something that's bringing back. So that's been, I was in the 4th grade, so then y'all know it's been a long time. I've been out of school. I've been out of school 60 years, so that you know how far back that goes. So it's just, sometimes things come back, what they say, after 10 years, it happens all over. So time out to you young people. I don't know if Brother Hill remembers, but time out now for young people, that's new. But for us, that's 60, 70, and older, it's the same thing.
We stood in the corner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to, but they ain't called time out there.
They said get in the corner.
Well, they got a new name for it. Okay, just want to give y'all a little history.
Dr. Stanley says here, his goal is, as a pastor and fellow believers, to help with spiritual aspects of our feelings, because they can permeate everything else in our lives. I think we said before, it can cause stress, physical disorders, and all those things. And so he talks about in this book that he's trying to get us past all this stuff because it causes physical damage to the body. And all those things. He's trying to get us healed of these emotional things. And all those things. He's trying to get us past that. And he's on point. But notice something here. On page 41, the top, he says, unfortunately, in our fast world, our first response is often to seek a solution that covers the wounds we have rather than really healing them. Notice that. Solutions. He says cover them. You cover something, you're not really fixing that. And he gets in this book, what he's really saying, he said, we need to get beyond covering it up. And let's get down to the root of the thing. And let's start doing some work and digging. Covering it up, it's just covered up. Goes back, if I just put my jacket on this, I cover the book. But it's still something inside the book, underneath the cover. We gotta allow God to work under the cover. That we be better. That we be all the people, the persons, the people that God has ordained for us to be. We talked about in weeks past. He had us on this earth to enjoy life. This life is to be enjoyed. It's not to be walking around sad and gloom and all that stuff. We're supposed to be enjoying life. We're supposed to be enjoying life. And and then talks about, and going to the physical aspect of it, he talks about thyroids on page 41. He talks about how thyroids listen how what thyroids does. When our bodies are not functioning as they should, the physical problem can affect our emotions. When you don't feel well, it affects you emotionally. Oh, yeah, okay. When I know it does. And it causes physical problems. Thyroids. And this is what it does. It slows a person down. It slows a person down. I mean, you got a person who used to be energetic, enthusiastic, and have a thyroid problem, let it become lethargic, slowing down, and all those things because of the problem. And he uses this thing as a physical thing, first of all, before he goes into the spiritual. And I like how he does it because he goes in the natural. And then he brings it into the spiritual. He talks about this thyroid and slowing a person down and all those things. It drains a person. It brings about depression. Let me stop with depression for a moment. That's one of the biggest things, depression and oppression. Not so much the world, but the church. You'll be surprised. We will be surprised. How many believers are oppressed and depressed? Because of emotional things going on. Basically the same thing, just different word. It's like you always, like the dumps and all those type of things.
Yeah, depressed.
Yeah. And you don't want to do nothing. Don't want to go out the house.
Depressed.
Keep your shades pulled. Be in the dark. That type of thing. You don't be bothering nobody. Those type of things. Huh?
I said, they need help there.
And if we be real, we all have been there. Come on, somebody. We've been there. From yours truly to all of us. We done been there. But God, we'll see in a minute. Let me chill out for a minute. We'll see in a minute. It causes the spirals, it causes an imbalance. An imbalance. A physical imbalance, emotional imbalance. It causes an imbalance. This is what happens with this. It causes, again, irritability, anxiety, which is stress, basically. And he says, even taking the medication for the thyroid, he said, even the problem is still there. The problem is still there. It's still there. You can take this medication all day long. The problem is still there. It's still there. It's still there. He goes to the bottom of page 41. He says, my praise that you will realize that God has better plans. Y'all catch that? Better plans for you. He wants you to be free. Can I just say delivered? He wants us to be delivered.
Yes, he did.
Woo, the Father can heal the emotional bondage. Bondage, you're locked down. Just use that term, okay? Locked down. That remains within us. That no prescription drug can heal or help be the remedy for what's going on inwardly.
Only God can do it.
Has been, and none of that can touch it. Page 42. And I'm almost done, y'all. You can believe it or not. Of course, this does not mean. Now, hear me good when I say this. You who get your book, look at the top of the page. Look at this part, and I got to read this. I'm starting at the bottom 41, go back. Of course, this does not mean that you should discontinue using medication. He says in the book. It does not mean that we should discontinue using medication. Watch this. He says immediately. Without doctor's guidance. Because when you stop immediately, or when I stop immediately, it can cause more damage. And you going on your own and saying, I'm going to stop. Number one, you don't get the doctor's guidance. Number one, you didn't ask God about it. Number two, rather. Okay, I'm just going to say it. We do some things and don't consult God whether we should do it or not. And then we pay for it in the long run. I should not have discontinued taking that stuff. Okay, I'm going to give you a personal example. I said, oh goodness, 7 months ago. I remember I got my tooth pulled. And the dentist gave me a prescription. Listen to me carefully. Gave me a prescription. And told me I had to take this bottle back that big. I forgot how many pills was in it. Told me to take all of them until all of them are gone. I told my wife, I ain't taking no more. She said, are you kidding? In a sense. And my sister-in-law, she's a nurse, I asked her a question about that. She said, Raymond, you're going to do what they tell you to do. Take all of them. Because I stopped. I'm going to tell y'all now, I stopped. And if I continue to stop, that place in where the tooth was pulled could have been damaged. And I may not have been here today operating off of foolishness. Thank God for my wife and my sister-in-law. But I could not wait till that was over with. I could not have been here. Listen, y'all hear me? I could not have been here if I could discontinue what the doctor, the dentist prescribed me to take. I could not have been here. It could have been very detrimental.